picture here.
Got it. Okay, oh, everybody's.
Will it
I
reach?
think,
No,
but you
this already
wanted to
in.
move your chair a little bit, because this cord is not long enough,
Gotcha.
unfortunately.
No, change it a little bit.
It looks like I'm up there.
We can hear you and see you just fine here in Sacramento.
Okay, well, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Thanks for joining today.
Yeah, how
With
come,
you? Oh, well,
I think we're good.
okay, oh, wow, look at,
how come no
Yeah,
sound
no.
from here?
I think we're good.
Oh,
no, they said they can hear.
They can hear,
him
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
very well, so we can unplug those and
put the.
Let's put it on mute.
mute is right here, correct.
Good.
No, because
So we're starting them? Yep. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm calling our meeting to order at 10:01 a.m. Curtis has confirmed that we have quorum, so it's great to see, I guess we can't see them visually.
It's used to mute.
Right.
This is gonna be awesome. Why is it delayed that much?
What?
That's the tape delay, so you can delete any profanity that may come up during the podcast. It's gone.
Can we do something about that, or?
How is he gonna talk if it keeps blinking? Mute your speaker. Mute this speaker?
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go through our meeting procedure. This meeting is being conducted via teleconference on the Zoom platform. Only staff and board members in the noticed and open to the public teleconference locations are on the Zoom meeting. The public can view this meeting via live stream on our CWDB YouTube page, also in person at the California Workforce Development Board office here in Sacramento. EDB's satellite locations in Oakland, Los Angeles, as listed in the meeting notice on the CWDB website. A link to our YouTube page, meeting agenda, and board packet information can be found on our CWDB website, cwdb.ca.gov, under State Board Meetings and Archives. This meeting is being recorded, and by being present, you consent to being recorded. The recording of this meeting is going to be made available on our YouTube page as well. Public comment is now open and will be accepted via email at boardpubliccomment@cwdb.ca.gov. And I'm also happy to recognize anybody who's physically here as well. All emails will be read aloud during the public comment periods noted on the agenda and will be included in the meeting minutes as part of the public record. We allow for 3 minutes for each comment, so please do your best to be concise. To request to speak, please use the raise hand feature or type speak into the chat function. And again, I'm able to recognize people as well. When you type questions into the chat, we can try to get to those, but please note that anything typed in the Zoom chat box will be included in the meeting minutes as part of the public record. So Miranda, you'll be notifying me then if there's any comments or questions? Who will be notified?
Emily, I will, sorry.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, so we will just proceed to our action item, which is consideration of approval of the October 11th meeting summary. You can find this on page 4 of your agenda packet. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Okay.
I don't have any. Can you hear me?
Yes. We can
Okay, so we have
definitely-
really bad feedback. We have really bad echo. And it's probably because the satellites are not on mute, so everybody should be on mute except for the speaker.
Turn off the YouTube page on the, we're zooming.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. First, is there any public comment?
No public
Okay.
comment.
Jamil has a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Nancy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any? The motion carries unanimously. So we'll now get to our updates and discussion. And so turn it over to Curtis for budget update or to direct staff. Oh, secretary. Okay, so we're very fortunate to have our great Secretary of Labor, Stuart Knox here. Please, Stuart,
Labor Agency.
Secretary Knox.
Yeah, and that's probably governed, not your budget, but the budget in general. Yeah, as most people know, the budget's in a little bit of a downturn again this year. And so obviously, we've seen cuts that we took in the Jan 10 budget, which Curtis will probably go over a little bit more around the workforce board. I think agency-wide, we took between delays and reductions close to $700 million. A good portion of that is delays, and a portion are actually reductions. So we've been working obviously with the governor's office, and in addition to that, we'll see what the legislature does in the May revise. But also realizing that the reports out of income are slower than expected, and so we'll probably continue to see further reductions as we move forward into the budget sessions. Legislatively, we've not seen a lot yet, but I'm sure we will be soon in terms of the legislature moving forward in the legislation components. SB 150, obviously I don't have an update on SB 150. The report is due to the legislature March 31st on SB 150. We're pretty close. I think we're going to have that to the governor's office today, if at all possible. So I think we're going to be close on the timeline, which is pretty notable since usually we're 2 to 3 months off on all of our reports. And so looking forward to that. In terms of, obviously the workforce board director was announced with Curtis's announcement of the new Division of Apprenticeship Standards chief. And so that's exciting news to have Curtis over there.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, I know. We'll have Curtis on that side of the house with 500,000 new apprentices that we need. Actually, only 375,000-ish. You got this, right? By 2029. So that is exciting. Kind Pereira was named as the new workforce board director. Kind of is swearing in is the 27th technically, because he's going to take a period of like a week off in between. And yours, I think, we're doing April 2nd for the DAS chief. And so excited to have both as part of the team. So it's going to be exciting. As you know, we appointed Dr. Jessica Grimes to the employment training panel about 3 months ago, 2.5, 3 months ago, 3 months ago now. So ETP has a new director as well. And then Hav has been in the field for a little bit of time under Nancy now, so for workforce services branch. So excited to see the workforce development system all aligning in a good way. Other than that, I don't think I have any other major updates in terms of where we are today.
Does this encompass legislative and budget update?
Yeah, I think, well, the legislation stuff, I mean, it's still incoming. And so I think we're going to see, you know, bills last year, I think under our purview, I think we had over 400 bills that we reviewed and gave comment on and recommendations to the governor's office. And so this year we're probably on track for, I'm sure, close to that again.
All DIR bills.
Yeah, the law, DIR bills. Yeah, DIR gets a good proportion of those through the Labor Commissioner's Office, Kalish, and others. So we do have most of the bills. Workforce itself is usually around 15 to 20. Yeah, so it's not a huge amount, but impact is usually big. It can. But we'll see with less money out there this year. We'll, you know, see
Direct budget items that affect the CWDB, there's a reduction of 45 million in high road training partnerships that are focused on healthcare. That was included in previous budgets. The Jan 10 budget proposed to reduce that, and there's also a delay in the funds intended for the goods movement training campus at the Port of Los Angeles. We don't anticipate any impacts to that delay as the port is currently doing the environmental review. So construction there isn't planned until probably spring of 2025 or so. So I don't anticipate any impacts there. SB 150, there was $50 million set aside in that bill for high road construction careers. It's part of the federal infrastructure money. It's intended to come to the state board. And we are very close with Caltrans to finalizing that agreement for that money to come over here to administer HRCC. So a couple of things we're working on with the federal government through Caltrans to make sure that we're in compliance with all the federal rules on that money. But pending that, we should hopefully have that contract executed fairly soon.
I know about the state plan. Where are we at with the state plan?
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Ashley Inglesey. I'm the Policy and Legislative Branch Manager here at the board. For state plan updates, the state plan was posted for public comment for 30 days. and then was finalized and reviewed by labor agency. We have submitted the state plan as of Monday, and the DOL has 90 days to review our state plan. 88, yeah, 90 days as of Monday. They don't usually take that long. We normally hear in, I would say, mid-April to May with feedback. So they'll provide us with feedback, we'll address that, send it to our title partners, and then we submit it again by June 30th.
May I just add one more thing? This year it's new because the National Governors Association is also reviewing state plans, so that would have an impact as to, because they may have a different viewpoint about how the state plan than the DOL, so they're also reviewing the state plans.
Any questions?
Do you want to speak to the local and regional plans, or do you feel that's part of?
I have that on the next update. Do you want me just to go through? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the last board meeting, I did a full presentation on local area subsequent designation and local board recertification. Out of the 5 missing local boards from that previous meeting, 4 more have been evaluated and have been found to meet the criteria as outlined in the directive and are recommended to you for approval. And that is Kings County, Orange County, Santa Ana, and Yolo County. Additionally, in the past board meeting, I did a full presentation on local and regional plans. 1 additional local plan and 1 regional plan was submitted and have been found to meet the criteria as outlined in the directive and is recommended to you for approval. And that is the Humboldt County local plan and the Los Angeles Basin regional plan.
That's great. And
I have a question. You said NGA.
NGA.
So are they going to, we're talking about all 50 state plans, the NGA is going to take a look at? Okay.
Yeah, they're partnering with the DOL on that.
Okay.
Which plans are missing? Let's go.
Yes.
Sorry to ask that.
I don't have it off the top of my head, but I can provide it to you after. Yeah.
so and this encompasses the designations and recertification as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if does anybody have any questions for Secretary Knox, Curtis, or Ashley?
Maybe off subject relative to budget, but I haven't been following the bouncing ball what the federal budget for WIOA formula allocations might look like.
Just it's about a 3% increase on some and it's a decrease in others. And so overall, it's pretty much a wash, although reauthorization is back up again-ish, back and forth. And there are some components of the reauthorized bill. It is a bipartisan bill-ish again. And in one of the components, which I think I don't know if we did public or a comment on, I think California Workforce Association did, is a 50% training component, which is close to where we had it at 30% as of now. I think we started at 25% and went to 30%. And so we did, I think through CWDB, did comments around being more open to utilization of community college. Not so specific to WIO as a 50% role.
If I can add to that, so the Education and Labor and Education Committee in the House has approved something that they sent to the House. They're calling it a stronger workforce for America. They're changing the name again. I don't know why they keep changing the name. It's confusing. But that's what WIO reauthorization will be called, a stronger workforce for America, ASWA. But the 50% training is going to be opposed by all the 550 local workforce boards. And next week at NOB's conference, that's going to be a big topic that all the boards attending will be hitting the hill saying, we can't. And then I think the other issue, and I know I'm sitting in the Capitol, was that the set aside of 10% is now the NGA is asking them to go up to 25%. So that's the other item that the local boards are not happy.
I don't know if we're opposed to that, but no.
Is California opposed to a 50%, given that we're at 30 already?
Well, the issue I think for us is with the executive order on the master plan of education and career education plan. we're really talking about leveraging resources.
Yeah.
And so in terms of leveraging resources, so I guess the answer is yes, we would be opposed generally to that. The rule, I mean, while we say training is the way to do this, WEO is, or whatever we want to call it next.
ASWA.
Yes, it's not the only entity, and
Understood.
actually, we've learned a lot of lessons out of the 25 and 30% rule of how boards will utilize funds in a way that isn't always the best outcome for the participant when you have these type of rules. And so by leveraging the community colleges with adult ed, you're going to get much more bang for your buck. What we had recommended was a percentage of the people. Now, this wasn't popular really through all the boards either, but rather than a recommendation of the funding percentage, that the number of people that's in training go up. And so if you want to put a 50% rule on that, that is not an opposed move.
And I think that would be okay. I think the 50% funding issue, it becomes that for a lot of the boards, and it's like one size fits all doesn't work for all 50 states.
Right.
And a lot of the boards, the people that come in, like even in our county, 50% of them don't need training. They just need basic services. But if we have to set aside 50% of our budget just for training, we'll have to lay off people and we may not be able to
Understood.
deliver the regular normal services that we have.
I might just add one more. The 50% of the number, though, could be gamed even worse. You could decide to train 10 people, or run 10 people through $1 million system instead of getting.
Well, but we'd all have percentage, the numbers, as you remember, you still have to serve a number of people based on the dollars that you get, so. We'd have to hold that a little bit closer. Yes, but yeah, good point, yeah.
Emily, do we have any?
No public comment at this time.
Okay, and there's no other comments from the other satellite offices?
How do we know the law needed?
Diane Factor?
No, I don't have a comment. Just catching up, had a little delay logging in.
Okay. Is there a comment you wanted to make, or you just wanted to be acknowledged?
I just wanted to be acknowledged because I missed roll call.
Perfect, thank you. Welcome. Okay, so since we don't have any other public comment, we'll go to other business. So as a member of, since this is a public appointed California Workforce Development Board, you're considered a public official. And as a public official for the CWDB, you're required to complete mandatory state government training every 2 years, which includes 2 trainings for us, ethics and harassment training. This was due actually back on February 19th of 2024. So if you haven't done it, please make sure that you follow up right away. Ian Hay from our human resources analyst had sent a reminder, and so you can follow up with him. Our next full board meeting is in a couple of weeks, March 27th at 10 a.m. And the rest of the dates beyond that are on our website. Emily, in terms of general public comments, do we have anything submitted?
Nothing more, no.
Okay, then that actually concludes our meeting. We can entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
A motion by Bruce, a second by Bruce. All those in favor?
Aye.
No abstentions or nays. Okay, meeting is adjourned at 10:20.
Is that the gavel?
We'll have to tell Mike Rossi that he runs meetings faster than Rossi.
I know, right? Yeah.
You mentioned the name.
Yeah, I know.